Yes, this is a ladder, and yes, this is still a cornhole how-to video. I'm going to show you how to use this ladder to improve your cornhole game. Let me go ahead and set this up, and I will walk you through how I use this to practice. So I typically set the ladder up about 2 to 3 feet in front of the board that I'm throwing towards. In this case, I would be throwing from that board to this one. And the point of this is I'm working on the trajectory of my bag or the arc of my bag, and I want to throw through these openings and land on the board. And so I set it up to about, for me, by putting it about 2 to 3 feet in front of the board, my normal shot, I'm going to hit right about this rung here. And that's what I want. I don't want my normal shot to be an opening. Maybe when you first set it up, it's fine. But I want to be able to force myself to have to make adjustments to hit the openings or come over the top. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to just practice my normal shot. I'm trying to adjust my trajectories, because what this is going to do is open up the ability for me to hit different shot types. So maybe my opponent is throwing a bag that's hit the dead spot and landed short of the board. It's in my lane. It's where I want to land. And now I've got to come higher, but I don't want to start throwing an airmail. So now I can work on coming through this top one or even over the top and landing on the board and still throwing a blocker, or maybe pushing a bag in or whatever. I've got that option. Maybe I've got to throw a little lower because there's a bunch of bags in the hole. And maybe I'm normally a higher thrower. By practicing down here or even down here, I'm working on that lower trajectory, lower arc on the bag to give me more speed, more power to push through to blow up piles. And that's what you're trying to accomplish. So this setup may be a little different for you and yours, first of all, depending on how I set up. And it's a little bit of tweaking of where you put the ladder to what's going to be best for you. I will say, I did some shots here. I started to do this, and I was doing some shots and talking through them. And this drill requires a ton of focus. So if focus is a weakness for you, if the mental side is tough, this will help you learn to block everything out, because you really got to focus on this little 1 foot by 1 foot opening or whatever this is. But anyway, so I had a hard time trying to talk through it. So I recorded some clips. I'll put some clips up here of me throwing. I think I threw through this opening over the top. Those are the 3 I did. Believe it or not, this one here is my hardest one to do. I struggle with this one because it's not my normal throw. I can get the high one. I can get, this is more my normal throw here or lower. This was tough. But when I practice, I always want to spend more time where I struggle, because if this is my hardest area, this is where I need the most improvement and the most work. Now, when I first come out and do a practice session, I'm not immediately jumping to the hard side. I'm going to start out with an open board, throw some slide bags, get some confidence there, set the ladder up. I'll probably go through this opening because this is probably my easiest one to do. I'll come through here first. Maybe I'll throw some over the top, and then I'll spend a majority of time in this middle here until I feel like I've got it somewhat dialed in, or at least improved from where I started. And then I'll go back to the easier ones and then finish up in the open board. So I always start and finish with easy shots because I want that confidence to begin with, and I want to walk away from practice with confidence. The idea behind here is when I'm throwing again as well. Like for me, I have more of a normal to lower arc on my bag. So I want to spend more time on the upper sides of it. That's why I struggle here or over the top. When I come over the top, I am not trying to throw an airmail. My over the top is I want to land on the board and slide in, or I want to land on the board and leave it in front of the hole. And the progression I do with this, when I first set this up, and what you probably want to do, the first few times you use this, don't worry about where your bag goes. Just have your bag come through here and at least land on the board. Who cares if it lands on the board and stops short of the hole, lands on the board, goes in the hole, or lands on the board and flies off the back? It doesn't matter. You're just trying to hit this hole, whatever you're aiming for, and land on the board. Once you get good at that, then work on trying to get the bag to come through the opening you're aiming for and go in the hole. And then you can progress to that, to going through the opening and maybe putting a blocker there and then trying to land through the opening and push it back. So you can progress to different points wherever your weakness is. If your weakness is blockers, you want to spend more time trying to leave bag short. If your weakness is pushing, try to spend more time pushing. Whatever it is that you struggle with, that's where you want to go. The idea of this is to push yourself in a direction that you're not comfortable with and help you develop those shots you struggle with, and just build a bigger arsenal of shots in your bag so that when you go in a match, no matter what your opponent gives you, you have options. It also gives me the ability to adjust to various board conditions. If you get where boards are slower, you've got to throw a little lower, a little harder. If boards are faster, you throw a little higher. So it allows you to adjust to varying board conditions. The last thing I'll say is for those of you who care about pulls and snags and the conditions of your bags, you're probably not going to want to use your best bags on this because you are going to hit the ladder. You're going to get some, you might get some snags or pulls because there's some sharp spots on these ladders that you can snag depending on what type of ladder you have. Pull an older set of bags. It's not about how the bags play here. This is about your throw. So it doesn't have to be your best set of bags. Get an old set of bags, get a cheap set of the Walmart bags, the old duck cloth, suede bags, whatever it is. just something that you're comfortable with, that if they get beat up, they get pulled, they get damaged, you don't care about. Hopefully this helps you, and hopefully you can take something away from this and implement it into your practice sessions. And if it does, drop a comment down below, let me know what it is. If this isn't something that you feel like you need to work on, drop a comment down below, let me know what that one thing is in your throw that you want to improve on, the one thing that you think you need to work on. Let me know, maybe that'll be one of my next videos coming out. I thank you guys so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.